Support comes from Sunday Morning Cafe, presenting Resilience and Creativity, a concert and interview with Royce Martin, creator of Swag Time, and resilience researcher Dr. Tom Wagner on August 2nd, sundaymorningcafe.com.
From the St. Louis Public Radio Newsroom, this is The Gateway. It's Thursday, July 9th. I'm Abby Larico. The upcoming Democratic primaries for St. Louis Recorder of Deeds and St. Louis County Council District 1 will likely be the decisive contests for those offices. You'll hear more about the candidates who want those jobs coming up after this news on The Gateway. Parents, teachers, and staff from the St. Louis Public Schools District filled an auditorium at Vashon High School last night to share their thoughts on the district's plan to close up to 22 schools. St. Louis Public Radio's Lucretia Wembley reports.
People gathered in small groups to discuss the district's 3 proposals for consolidating schools and tightening its budget. District leaders talked about what eliminating magnet schools and reintroducing neighborhood schools could look like. Gloria Nolan works for the school district as a parent liaison. She has 2 kids who attend magnet schools in the district.
What about the piece where people make other choices and we have a large fallout behind a mass closure all at once? How can we modify this and not burn down the whole district?
Leaders say the district is looking at a $41 million deficit for the upcoming school year, driven in part by decreased state funding. I'm Lucretia Wembley, St. Louis Public Radio.
We have more reporting on the district's proposal at STLPR.org. A federally supported health center based in Springfield, Missouri, is sending a mobile medical unit to North St. Louis. Officials at Jordan Valley Health, which operates 10 mobile units, hope to address what they call recent gaps in medical care in the city. The unit will be parked at the Bayer YMCA branch in the Hamilton Heights neighborhood from 10 to 3 today. That's just blocks away from Care STL Health, a nonprofit clinic that recently lost its federal funding. Jordan Valley President and CEO Matthew Stinson says he plans to send the unit to St. Louis weekly.
We're going to take walk-ins, and we'll be able to deliver a lot of what they need through that mobile unit. And so I just encourage them to come out.
The mobile clinics serve underinsured patients and those covered by Medicaid, as well as those with private insurance. 2 historic churches in North St. Louis have now permanently closed. As STLPR's Anison Krebs Carr reports, St. Augustine's Roman Catholic Church and St. Matthew the Apostle will be sold.
The 2 churches have not been used for worship since 2024 and have seen theft and vandalism since. Church officials say they lack the money to repair and maintain the churches. Masses ended at both churches in 2024 when they were merged into St. Peter Claver Parish. The merger was part of the Archdiocese All Things New restructuring plan. The plan consolidated parishes because of a lack of churchgoers and aging priests. Officials say that when they decide to sell a church, they take great care in removing sacred objects and selecting an appropriate buyer. I'm Anison Krebs Carr, St. Louis Public Radio.
The U.S. Department of Justice is threatening to prosecute Illinois election officials for something those officials say never happens. Mawa Iqbal has more.
Illinois election authorities could face criminal charges for, quote, knowingly sending non-citizens ballots and then counting them. That's according to a recent letter from U.S. Assistant Attorney General Harmeet Dillon. But a State Board of Elections spokesperson says that's not something that ever happens in Illinois. The Trump administration has sued Illinois and 29 other states that have been unwilling to turn over sensitive voter registration information to the federal government. So far, 11 of those lawsuits have been dismissed. The Illinois Election Board is weighing a response to Dillon's letter. I'm Mawa Iqbal.
Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe is scheduled to sign nearly 24 bills into law today. A few of note: Bentley and Mason's Law, which requires drunk drivers convicted of killing a parent to pay child support to the surviving children. The law is named after 2 boys whose family died in a crash in Jefferson County in 2021. The governor will also sign a bill that will automatically expunge some misdemeanor crimes after a year and certain nonviolent felonies after 3 years. New rules for pornographic websites, requiring them to verify if users in Missouri are adults. And a bill that creates a new government oversight board for Missouri high school athletics. In all, Governor Kehoe plans to sign at least 20 pieces of legislation into law during today's ceremony. 2 Democrats are vying to become the next state senator for Missouri's 4th District. That includes former House Representative and Richmond Heights resident Gina Mitten. As STLPR's Sarah Kellogg reports, if elected, Mitten says she expects one of the biggest fights will be on the budget.
Governor Mike Kehoe recently signed into law the budget for this fiscal year. It's less than the budgets in years past and marks the beginning of likely tougher budgets to come. Mitten says as a member of the minority party, she's prepared to run defense on many issues, and that includes the budget.
It's all going to be about funding. I think that we are all very concerned about what that's going to look like, particularly in healthcare realms. I'm very concerned about what that's going to look like for low-income folks, for folks on Medicaid.
Mitten also expects education to be another issue where Democrats and Republicans will fight over dollars. I'm Sarah Kellogg, St. Louis Public Radio.
Mitten was a guest on Politically Speaking. You can listen to more of that conversation wherever you get podcasts like this one. Today, stories on Democratic primary contests in St. Louis and St. Louis County from STLPR'S Rachel Lippmann. She has more on those who are running for St. Louis County Council District 1. But first, here's a look at the 4 people who want to be the next recorder of deeds in the city of St. Louis.
The Recorder of Deeds office keeps vital records like birth certificates. Patty Ellison Brown has worked there for 15 years. She is also the Democratic committeewoman of the 4th Ward. When the current recorder, Michael Butler, decided not to run again, he asked Ellison Brown to be his successor.
It needs a recorder that will be hands-on. If I'm walking through the office and someone needs my help, I would be able to help them on day one. I wouldn't have to learn anything.
10th Ward Democratic Committeewoman Yolanda Yancey regularly interacted with the office as a Head Start social worker, helping families access birth certificates. She then had her own personal experience after being affected by the May 16th tornado. Yancey says the office is well run, but she says something as simple as having a notary on staff would be beneficial.
Those families that are working, that are trying to come to the office doing lunch, may not necessarily have time to go do this and then go over here and get something notarized and run back, then pay parking.
The Recorder of Deeds is a county office. That means while it's funded by the city, its duties are set mostly by the state. 3rd Ward Alderman Shane Cohn says that makes his legislative experience important.
I'm familiar with those shortfalls and obstacles in city government, and I think it's important that we get creative with those limited resources.
The 4th candidate, developer Anthony Brandon, has no political experience, but he says that puts him in the best position to make the office function better.
I have over 17 years of management experience that I am able to lead the office in an efficiently and transparency way.
All 4 candidates say they want to do more to protect residents from deed fraud. They would also continue to upgrade technology. The winner of the primary will face a Green Party candidate in November. We head now to St. Louis County, where 3 women are seeking to represent the 1st District on the county council. It stretches from Del Mar to Interstate 270, covering all or part of 37 municipalities. Incumbent Rita Hurd Days won her first local election in 1985 and joined the council in 2019.
I have established a relationship with all of those people. They know if they call me, I will do whatever it is that I can do to make sure that they have what they need.
Days wants to continue working with municipal leaders on affordable housing and economic development. Ella Jones was among those municipal leaders for 11 years as a council member and mayor in Ferguson.
So it's time for me to expand or transfer the skills that I've learned in Ferguson and put it more on the North County area.
Jones wants the county to make it easier for residents to purchase vacant properties to help stabilize neighborhoods. Maria Chappelle Nadal represented parts of the district in the State House and Senate for almost 16 years.
For me to say that state government is outperforming the county at this point is an exceptional statement. But I can tell you that every single person in District 1 deserves better.
Chappelle Nadal would focus on environmental issues and affordability. The county's budget is top of mind for all 3 women. Days says she is proud the council asserted itself and made $48 million in cuts.
We had a lot of trust and faith in the administration to give us the kinds of numbers that we need, and that did not bear out well.
Jones agrees the council has a voice in spending decisions, but she would work more closely with the county executive and department heads.
Having people to have the ability to say, well, I can take this out of my budget, or I could have this to sustain my budget, it's better.
The council is hoping voters approve a tax on online sales. Chappelle Nadal says that's the wrong approach.
Every single family, every single door that I knock on, someone is experiencing really hard financial times.
The August primary will serve as the de facto general election, as no other candidate has filed for the seat. I'm Rachel Lippmann, St. Louis Public Radio.
You can find all of our coverage of the August primary at STLPR.org. The Gateway is a production of St. Louis Public Radio, a listener-supported service of the University of Missouri-St. Louis. Theme music's by Ryan McNeely of Adult Fur. I'm Abby Larico, and from the St. Louis Public Radio newsroom, thanks for listening to The Gateway.